guys, this is Satsman. I'm coming to you with a brand new deck profile this week, and this week we are doing Infernoid. Now this deck is still pretty competitive. I would probably say it's in the top 5, maybe top 6 of competitive decks at the moment. I can still do a lot of crazy things, and let's get into the deck profile. Starting with the monsters, we are playing 3 Decatron, double Prometheus, 3 Antra, double Hermetic, 3 Petrulia, 1 Sajeti, 3 Saitsamas for the big guys, 3 Atondel, 1 Deviati, 1 Anunku, and then for Lightsworn support, I am playing 2 Raiden and 1 Lila, and that is it. This comes out to a lot of monsters. I don't actually know the count. I believe it's about 22 monsters. The Decatrons are just an amazing card for this deck. It just solves so many problems that the deck has. Truly is really good right now because it pops back row, so that's pretty important. As for the 3 Antra and double Hermetic, this could probably switch. I might do that at some point just simply because spinning cards back is just not as good for a lot of things. And plus, this can combine with Decatron. I can go into rank 4 a lot easier, or level 8 Synchro. So, and those in general are just the better ones. So this could honestly go up to 3 just for that reason alone. The reason why I'm only playing 2 Raiden and 1 Lila is really that's all I need. I really don't mill these too often, which is really nice. And the duel just goes by so fast where like Illumina is just becoming a little slow for me. I just don't like it as much. In all honesty, I could probably take out an Antra for a Card Trooper instead of a Hermetic, just because it opens me up to maybe getting some draw power. So that's pretty interesting. Sajeti's pretty cool as well because he can banish stuff from my opponent's extra deck. So and while the extra deck really isn't a big thing at the moment, it could possibly get rid of some stupid cards that I don't like. So that's pretty decent as well. My favorite card undoubtedly is Anunku. Dropping this on my opponent while I have nothing on the field is just absolutely stupid. It just blows up all the monsters on the field, and then all that's left is a 3,000 beater. So it's just, and he can be brought back multiple times, especially, like, even if he gets Psalm Strike, I can just bring him back. It's not, like, a huge thing to me if my opponent wants to Psalm Strike him. It just means I have to banish more cards from the graveyard, which, again, really isn't all that preferable all the time, just because I want to conserve resources, especially earlier in the game, but this is a great card to drop late in the game. So, let's move on to the spell cards. For these spell cards, we're playing 3 Reasoning, which is standard, double Voids here, which is also pretty standard as well. I was honestly considering putting this up to 3, just because this is just so good. This is just such a good card at the moment. It just blocks things, like, if you don't know what Overture does, like, it just blocks my Infernoids from being targeted by stuff, and just, in general, just being unaffected by card effects. It's just stupid. It's, like, and then it can banish itself from the graveyard, and prevents one of my Infernoids from being destroyed. So, it's such a good card, and the fact that it's a quick play is just insane. So, I really, really like this card, and I really wish I could find the room for 3. I might do it at some point, but at the moment 2 is working. So yeah, moving on. 1 Monster Gate, that's pretty standard. Double Charge of the Light Brigade, that's pretty standard I feel like as well. I want to get to Raiden or Lila as fast as possible. Double Galaxy Cyclone. This is definitely not a budget build for the deck. Galaxy Cyclone is pretty useful just simply because it pops things when it's milled still. So that's pretty good. For one-offs, I'm playing 1 Rhoda and 1 Burial and 1 Foolish. And that'll be it for the spells. Foolish and Burial are very useful. Burial is just great because then I can reuse my resources, and Foolish is really cool as well because then I can load up my graveyard to use as resources. So Foolish Burial is very good. It can also get the big guys in the grave so I can switch to some of them faster. So Foolish is just all around a good card. And then finally for traps, I'm playing 2. I'm playing double Breakthrough Skill. Really the only trap I really wanted to play in this deck. I don't really feel the need to put in Psalm Strikes, like if I had them, or Psalm Warning, because most of the time I mill them anyway, and it's just not preferable to just mill something and not be able to use it. So I would this is just the best card in my opinion for the trap lineup. So let's move on to the extra deck. For the extra deck, I'm using a lot of synchros and quite a few XCs as well. So for the synchros, I am playing for the level 6 one Goyo Guardian. I was thinking about throwing in an Ally of Justice Catastor, but as well for level 5 or an Armades. But in all honesty, battle traps aren't always a thing anymore. If anything, I'd probably throw an Armades into the side. But at the moment, I'm content with the one Goyo. Even though Armades and Catastor are level 5s, I just don't always make them, and that's the thing. For the level 7s, I'm playing one Clearwing and one Cyframe Lord Zeta. Why am I playing this card? It's for the Burning Abyss matchup, and the Burning Abyss matchup is not a fantastic matchup for this deck. It's very, very consistent, and and they can drop Dark Law on me, which I really, really don't like. So Cyframe Lord Zeta is definitely very useful. If you don't know what he does, he can kill Xyz pretty well in terms of their effects by targeting one monster on my opponent's side of the field, banishing both it and that monster, and then on my standby phase, they're returned back to the field. So Cyframe Lord Zeta can get rid of Xyz material as soon as a Xyz monster is summoned, so they gain nothing from it. So Cyframe Lord Zeta is very, very helpful for that. Just dropping that on my turn and then waiting for my opponent is just really, really good. For level 8s, I am playing one Stardust because it can negate things over and over again, and one Cyframe Lord Omega. This helps me get my resources back as well. If I had a second one, I would throw in a second one, and I would probably take out the Clearwing. Maybe one of the bigger ones as well. I do have a bit of a tech in the extra deck as well, and that card is Cloud Castle. Cloud Castle, if you don't know what this card does, it is so good at preventing OTKs. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target one level 9 monster in your graveyard. You can special summon that target, whatever. That's not really that important. Unless, of course, I have like Attrition Grave, and that'd be cool. But the more important thing is that level 8 or lower monsters cannot attack the turn they are normal or special summon. So if I drop this on my turn, and my opponent is playing a, let's see here, a Cosmo deck or a Monarch deck, this can be kind of difficult for them to play around, just simply because they can't attack it. They'd have to destroy it by some other way. So Cloud Castle is definitely pretty useful, just for stall. And then I'm also playing one Trish it's possible to make, so I will throw it in, and if I can make it, I will make it. For level 10, I'm playing one Leo, and then one Star Eater for the level 11. Both these are very, very good, so I would not take these out at all. For the Xyz, I'm playing 6 Xyz monsters and 9 synchros. One Dweller, this is just so good against the Cosmo matchup, as well as the Monarch matchup, incidentally, because then it prevents any card effects, not just monster effects from the grave. So that's very, very useful against that matchup. It's also good to drop against a Mermail deck as well, because they can get effects from Dragoons and Lanians when they hit the grave. So Abyss Dweller is very useful for blocking those. One Castell because it's good, one Cowboy to end games, one for the rank 7s, Big Eye, and one Red Eyes, and then for the one rank 8, I am playing one Felgrand. Quite honestly, I don't think I would sub this out for a different one. This is really the most useful one in my opinion. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this deck profile. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always guys, have a nice day.